Good evening. I'm here. I made it eventually. I'm still feeling a bit delicate after Saturday night, Gilly, and so it's to be expected that I'm not running on all cylinders tonight. I think.
You bought the tequila, mate. You bought the shots, or at least you started us off.
I did. I got carried away, didn't I?
Genuinely, I almost feel human now. This is the first time. So, I mean, we were back on it last night. I'll be honest, but I'm sponsored by Guinness, and once I've finished, then I've got a pint can of Cronenberg to get through. So that should get me through next hour.
I've got myself a vodka and lime Pepsi.
Good man, lime Pepsi.
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's you haven't lived till you've had this. Amazing. We're joined by a friend of the pod again tonight, Johnny. He's becoming a regular now, aren't you? I'd be expecting to get him paid soon. You'll be getting like 2 pence a month.
Well, just get me a pint out though.
Fair enough, I can do that. Didn't say a pint of what though, so that was a quick intro and then we'll get going.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Orta Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
Leeds are shit.
We're recording, you know.
Oh, shit.
We had a good start. I don't think we've got the personnel.
You can fucking laugh all you want, you absolute bellend.
I think about things, that's why you lot are idiots.
A melted version of a dick that's been shrink wrapped.
The absolute elite shithousery of this.
So how are we all feeling then, aside from the after effects of drinking far too much for people our age?
Well, I didn't drink yesterday. I stayed up all day.
That must be the first day in about a year for you.
Yeah, I did well. I was horrible yesterday. It was like proper settee day, you know what I mean? So I had to.
Yeah. Writes you off, doesn't it? Writes you off those big nights.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you both making the sacrifice for my birthday. You know, I do appreciate it.
Of course.
Yeah, it's a good day out, really. It was good.
Well, I were going to go home at 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yes, it was.
It's only Friday though. Lee was saying to us like, "I'm only staying for one," and you could see in his eye he were fancying it. And then his missus, he were 3/4 of the way through his pint afterwards, and his missus were on blower. We've got barbecue next door. When you're on your way home,
he got kiboshed.
Yeah, he was gagging to stay out, wasn't he?
Yeah,
really bad.
Just wanted to stay out with boys.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
It was good to see him though. It was good to see him.
Yeah,
You know, nice of Smarty to have sorted him out with that.
Didn't turn up though, did he, for game, Smarty?
Well, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
More important things.
More important things to do. Yeah, he pissed off down south. What's that all about?
I thought you only did that for away games.
So did we. He's just dropped us in it, and he just fucks off now whenever he wants.
He's not a real fan, is he? He's a
he's not like
plastic
us,
bastard. Plastic.
Not like us. To start us off, I'm just going to bring this up and just say how good does this look? As long as I can bring up the right slide. Don't want to see some of the stuff that's open. There we go.
That's nice.
Leeds United, top of the table, unbeaten last 5 there. Just, it's looking good. What a difference there. What a difference from the weekend before.
Yeah, just 1 week. A week, like 8 or 9 days ago, you went on Twitter and it was, Sheffield United and Burnley are going to win every game from now until the end of the season. It's over. We didn't playoffs and we fucked it. We're definitely not getting promoted. Sack Farker now and bring somebody in that knows about playoffs.
Yeah. I really enjoyed those. Sack Farker now. I mean, listen, you can question things he does. You can question tactics. But you're taking leave of your senses if you think that sacking the manager when you're top of the table with 4 games left is the right move.
It's madness. I mean, absolute madness.
Yeah.
What are they expecting? Like, a new manager bounce only really happens for teams that are really shit.
Yeah.
Especially ones that are not fit. You know, that is somebody coming in and changing up the training sessions for people that are not. We've got no issue with fitness. That's why we were so late on in games against Sheffield United and Sunderland and what have you.
Exactly.
You know, we go to the end. So, yeah, there's none of that.
Yeah, it's crackers, absolutely crackers. I mean, what a day though, lads! It were, if Carlsberg made weekends, it were one of those, wasn't it? It were your birthday, Gilly. It were, Sheffield United were winning, and I just remember like in the stands, you get that first one through, and they've scored, and you think, it's over.
Yeah.
Just let it stay like this. Just because then you find out that it's the drawing, and you're like, right, okay, hang on, just everything as it is. Just let it finish like this.
Then Plymouth were 2-1 up. The whole stand where I were buzzing. The whole Welsh were like,
we started there in Mermans from like a cop for the first one, and then Alfie went. Alfie like, so the cheering over there, and then he got a notification from his phone because obviously it's like 80s internet in it there. And it was like, and he went, the equaliser. I thought, all right, that'll do. Just stay as it is then.
That's what you think, they're going to concede again.
Yeah, and then about 10 rows in front of us, this kid just stood up and went, fucking come on. I'm like, what's going on? And Alfie got a notification on his phone, he went, the fucking
It were ace, wasn't it? It was one of those days that you'll always remember. It were a game you'll always remember.
It was the very opposite of Wigan, wasn't it? It was the antithesis of the Wigan day because with Wigan it went we were winning and then they were down to 10 men and then the other end of it just went fucking insane. And with this one, we were winning, then pegged back, then winning again really quickly early on. And
we thought, we're gonna do these.
Yeah, and then Sheffield United are winning, and you're like, oh shit, this can't be right. And then all of a sudden, just at the end of it, it's all like, fucking hell, it is.
Yeah, it is. But then at the end there, Johnny, you see that they're losing. You start thinking, oh God, Leeds, it's only 2-1. Please don't do this to me.
You were just saying that every catch Darlow did. It was celebrated like a goal, wasn't it? That last one where he laid on the floor, and like, fucking hell. And then Rodon jumped on top of him, like, fucking hell.
Rodon loves it.
Then I just sat back in my seat. I think, I'm fucking too drained here. This is killing me. So it's gonna be on my gravestone, fucking Death Valley United. I tell you, I think the club's gonna do me in.
It'll be the same for all of us, I think, mate. It ages you, this club. I swear to God. I were all sprightly and young when I started coming to these games, I tell you. But, I mean, you wouldn't swap it, would you? You wouldn't swap it. You don't get that feeling from anything else on days like that.
I just think though, we missed out. We missed out with COVID, didn't we? We had
big time, yeah.
So it's well needed. I think this now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's so many permutations in it that I think if Burnley win on Monday night, then the points total that we need from our last 4 games is 4 points.
Oh yeah.
If the draw, we need 5, and if Sheffield United win, we need 7. And what that actually means is if we pick up 1 win and 1 draw from our next 2, when Sheffield United and Burnley play each other, that could get us promoted. It'll be an Emil Smith Rowe position. Watching a game unfold, and you're looking at somebody at Burnley being a Leeds legend like Emil Smith Rowe, who's never played for us, but will always be a Leeds legend for those of us that had to go through that COVID period.
Yeah, I think if we win on Friday and they drop any points at all, then just by winning on Monday does it.
Yeah.
Or if they say we both win on Friday, we win, they've got to win, haven't they? And if they don't win, then that's it again. So it's going to be on Monday, isn't it?
But the thing with Leeds fans is we can't just enjoy stuff. We can't enjoy things. I saw this guy on Twitter earlier, and I wish I'd saved it now. But he said something along the lines of Sheffield United are going to beat Burnley, and then by the time we play next, there's only going to be 2 points in it. Everyone's acting like it's done. There's going to be 2 points in it, and it's like, hang on, 2 points, but massive goal difference and a game in hand.
Yeah.
So, provided we don't do anything stupid, we're going to be back in the same position once we play our game. At the very worst, unless we do something stupid, obviously. But yeah, it's like people can't just be like in the moment enjoying it. In 2 weeks' time, we might be third. That's the way this fucking league is. Do you know what I mean?
Well, 8 days ago we were third.
Exactly.
And now we're top.
I think most of us who've been there and seen it all, you know, we know that it can all change. It could all go wrong on the last bloody day for us. We could end up third on the last day. You can't get super carried away, but you can enjoy the moment. You can enjoy the fact that we're in control. It looks good from here. I'd much rather be here and smiling and laughing and having a good time than sat in third shitting myself thinking, oh, God, oh, God. And people can't just enjoy it.
Nah, I remember in 92 when we got bollocked by Man City 4-0 when we went to win the old Division 1 title. And that felt like the world was ending then. And that was without no Twitter or anything or no internet.
Yeah.
Like, he was ringing up your mates going, fucking hell.
Imagine having to ring people to go.
Hello. Yeah.
It's crackers, isn't it? These days, you just have a few beers, Johnny, get on Twitter, call everyone an arsehole, and you feel a lot better, don't you?
Yeah, you do, mate. Yeah. I think like some miserable bastards, isn't they? You think just enjoy the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You've got to, because you don't always get these moments.
No, you don't. No.
If you can't enjoy this, what are you bothering with football for?
Yeah, and that's the point really I was making about that's the point I was making about Wigan really, because it's only when you've gone through the crucible of pain in those sorts of situations that actually you understand the highs. So Bielsa used to say, "Don't get too high after a win, and don't get too low after a defeat," because actually, do you know what? That's just football.
Yeah.
But this is separate to that, and this is the enjoyment. You know, a lot of people are going, "Oh, well, don't celebrate too much because nothing's won yet." It's like, no, hang on a minute. One of our biggest rivals for promotion has lost 3 on the bounce. Imagine the head loss if that had been us in our fan base. We drew 3 on the bounce, and the world had ended. We'd not even lost in that run.
If we'd not put Darlow in, we might have done.
Well, we might have done, yeah. But so one of our main rivals, and bear in mind, there's 2 promotion positions in the automatics. It would be lovely to win it as champions and celebrate it properly in a way that we didn't get to do through COVID.
Yeah.
But you know what? I just want promotion. Just give me promotion. We'll celebrate it in exactly the same way, regardless. Now, I don't think it will actually matter if you said, well, Burnley will be champions, but you'll get promoted with them. Fucking yes. Yeah. I'll have that.
Yeah. I'd take I'm not every day of the week. But what I'm hoping for is we get promoted and we get that sorted in the next week or so. And then at the end of the season, we're going down to Plymouth, we're playing for the title. That'd be nice. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy that. But it wouldn't matter if we won or not. And I won't even be against putting a shit side out against Plymouth to do them a favour, to be honest with you. As long as we've got the promotion seal. You know what I mean? If we're not sorted, then take no prisoners. You know what I mean?
Especially after them fighting with Wilder.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, they've gone right up in my estate.
Did you see? That was Jamie.
Yeah. Probably gave him a Leeds salute. Fuck off, yam face.
Nearly.
Marty had said it.
Character, Jay. Character.
Is what?
You got to be mouth.
Do his am face.
Got to do am face. Cucumbers.
I'm not bothered about winning titles. I'm too old for that shit. I just want to go up.
It's not even a title we don't have.
No.
We've won it before. It's fine.
Yeah.
I like this. Mark Wright. Tell the lad who's got champions 25 on back of his shirt. So get carried away. Mate, that lad's probably already got champagne out. Which reminds me, I need to buy a bottle to bang in fridge for just in case.
Put it with my fireworks.
Yeah, I will. And then I'll be wandering up and down Elland Road with this bottle. I've still got some scarves somewhere that I got outside Elland Road that night with the bus, and they've got like Bielsa on and stuff. And yeah, I'll never forget that.
And I didn't go.
No, because a lot of people,
it was the right decision at the time. Well, my young'un were very. His lungs are an issue, so I just couldn't risk it, and I didn't go.
Yeah.
And that'll
like
be
himself kind of got robbed.
But that's the thing is that's what we all need. I think we all need that to put the ghost of the COVID promotion to bed, because It was a half thing. It wasn't properly celebrated. There were players that left that we didn't really get to say bye to. We need to exercise some demons there, and I think that
I think so.
You know, as you said, nothing's won yet. There's twists and turns to come in this yet. No two ways about it. But you know, they have to play each other, which is a massive deal. Millwall are on a run now.
They are, aren't they?
There's good and bad about this. So Millwall is Burnley's last game of the season. But I really don't want Millwall being in playoffs because I don't want any risk of them coming up with us if we get.
You know what? I'd find it quite hilarious seeing them in Premier League. Just it would really rub a lot of people the wrong way, and I'm all for that. Like, we hate them, they hate us, but there's like I wouldn't say respect there, but there's an understanding.
There'll be a proper whipping boy though as well, though, won't there?
I can't respect a team where the fans bring turkey flags, but there's an understanding. But it would be funny. It would be funny to see him go up just because it'd ruffle so many feathers.
And they'd probably vie Southampton for what looks like being the record lowest total ever.
They would do a Norwich, Gilly. They wouldn't spend a penny. They'd just keep the money for the future of the club and come back down in a better position. And there's not wrong with that if you're a smaller team and you know you're getting like a shot at a big payday that you never thought you were going to get.
Yeah,
you know? Not wrong with putting stuff towards securing your club. But I think that's
as James B's just pointed out, Millwall versus West End.
And West Ham will have to give them a big away allocation.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be good fun, wouldn't it?
James B's actually just said, thank you for the super chat. He was working with a Sheffield United fan on Saturday, told him about results. He said, I know, I've just put day off for Wembley.
We've all been there, haven't we? We've all been there.
Yeah.
But let's not get too carried away because we still don't know.
We still don't know. But it's nice to see somebody else panicking.
Well, like I said to you on Saturday, when we beat Sheffield United, when we were 8 points clear of third, I booked my hotel for Wembley. I just shipped myself. The page just came out.
Oh, this is going too well.
Yeah, I thought, fuck this, I'm fucking booking it.
This isn't Leeds. This isn't the Leeds I know.
So I've got to remember to cancel it or else I get charged 120 quid.
Well, don't fucking cancel it now, otherwise you'll need it.
You'll
end up like this lad I used to work with that had an AA membership that he never used and he got charged 200 quid every year for it. And he just paid it and then he'd moan about it. And we'd all be like, well, cancel it. And he'd be like, yeah, I will do. And next year come, they get charged again, they start going mad.
I thought you were going to say, and then he cancelled it and he needed them.
No,
that'd have been even better, to be fair. Right, I might talk about the actual game a little bit.
Yeah, go on.
What we're supposed to do. But as you know, because I can't actually remember much of Saturday after the way it ended. So I had to quickly watch it through the highlights again just to jog my memory. But I only got to a certain point because I ran out of time. PC won't reboot, and it's been good fun. But you've rewatched it all proper, Gillis. I'm leaning on you here.
Yeah, no problem.
We had the sort of the intense quick start that we normally get at home, and we looked really good. And then we scored the early goal, and it were you're going robotic, Johnny. You might
feedback there, Johnny. No, we've lost your audio now, mate.
Oh, Johnny, it were going so well.
What did you do?
I don't know. Have you got a dodgy cable or something? I'm going to have to mute you, mate, while you sort that out. Fucking hellfire. Anyway, we had the sort of early goal from Solomon, and it kind of came out of nowhere, and it was a great finish. And you're thinking, fucking amazing. Everyone's going nuts. Early goal, brilliant. Sun's shining, fantastic. And then we concede straight away. I mean, at that point, Gilly, did you think, shit, it's going to be one? Because I know I did.
Yeah, it was the highs versus the lows again, wasn't it? And I think it did come out of nowhere. So I've got the momentum graph, and we can pop it up in a minute. But we scored early on, and you think, right, that's exactly what we needed. Settle down, everybody. Make sure we're all fine. And you know what? We'll run out easy victors here because we've got the early goal, and we've seen Farke's record when his sides get in front, especially at championship level, and all of that. So at that point, you're like, yes, it's going to happen. It's happening. And then, like, within a minute or two, you're, oh, for fuck's sake. Because I don't know what Firpo... I mean, Firpo's run, the overlapping run for Solomon's goal, I don't know if you've actually picked up on that. That's the bit that puts the defender in two minds as to how to manage Solomon. And it just gives him that half a yard. His feet are so quick. He cuts inside and he's already scored it before anybody knows what's happening.
Yeah.
But the good and the bad of Firpo within a 3-minute period is then he's got back into position where he'd been out of position. I mean, he doesn't spend much time at left back anyway, does he? Let's be fair. But no, he's got himself back into position, having been out of position. He's stood his man up, and you're thinking, right, okay, he's got back in, and we've settled down. Get somebody over to support him, which is one thing that didn't happen because he were left isolated one-on-one.
He was, yeah.
And then you're thinking, well, okay, just show him down the line. Show him down. And he kind of didn't. He just stood off him, and then... he'd gone down line instead.
Yeah, he let him dictate what was going to happen rather than him telling him.
But he didn't do a trick or anything. He just seemed to all of a sudden just leave him with loads of space, and he just popped it in top corner.
I feel like he tripped over his own legs or something for Firpo.
So it was a strange one. But I think from a position of the balance of the game, at that point, you're thinking, don't let our edge drop because we've started really well. So just keep playing like that and we'll be fine. So I didn't have the sinking feeling, but I think the reason I didn't have the sinking feeling is just there was a gasp and a lull, but it only lasted about 10, 15 seconds. And then everybody just went, we all have Leeds. And everybody started singing and chanting. And I don't know if you've listened to Square Ball yet, but Dan Moylan talked about... when the stress just gets too much, Ellen Road sometimes just don't worry about it and just sings because you can't focus on it and you can't handle the stress. So all you can do at that point is just go, do you know what? I'm just going to sing. And it felt, I agree with him, and it felt like that. So I went in cop and I was quite towards the front. I wasn't fucking sun, I was baking. Genuinely baking. But so I went at front of cop and it was a good atmosphere. And it was a good atmosphere for the entire game. And like I said, there were a lull, but it were only a few seconds. And then that started. And obviously then we scored again quite quickly after that. And I think that really settled us all down anyway. But it was frustrating though, wasn't it? Seeing all the chances that we did spurn.
Mate. I turned around to the guy next to me, Johnny, after they equalised. Straight away, and I went to him, oh, God, I can't take a 5-4. Not today. I can't. I just can't. And I thought we might get a game like that at that point. Did you?
Yeah.
I was right behind both of them where I sit. You know, the angle for like Solomon's and their goal. I was bang right behind it. It was like both brilliant strikes. And I was thinking, like, you know, you talking about, still celebrating, weren't we? You know, for the goal when they scored. It was literally about a minute, wasn't it? I was like,
it was, yeah.
But like I said, I still felt comfortable though, in a little way. You know, like because we was creating chance after chance. We actually, I actually thought we played really well. To be fair,
it was like the Alamo.
And I know like people like I kept saying, you know, people slagging Pierre off, but I thought that was probably one of his better games. If it won't, just deserved to go.
I was going to say this. I made a note of this. Like he didn't get a goal, but he had a really good game. Otherwise,
I thought he did. Yeah, it's still actually on the pitch now. He's still on the pitch now. I'm still trying to score. Still trying. He's fucking
do you think he's getting desperate for a goal, Gilly, and snatching a bit? Do you think with Bamford breathing down his neck as well?
Well, actually, I think Bamford breathing down his neck is what's pushed him to play better. Because I think it's not just this game. Before this game, his link-up play and his work rate is visibly increased. I think
he's seen Joseph off, doesn't he? But Bamford's a different proposition.
And he's doing well when now. The good bit about it is they're playing together when he comes on. Because that means that Aronton's not on the pitch.
Yeah.
But I think so if you look at, I mean, we talked about Nonto and James, and when they're both fit and pushing each other, you can tell. And I think Pirot's we talked about Pirro being a big risk because actually he's the only reliable forward that we've had for such a long time. If he'd have had an injury through January, February, March, we'd have been fucked.
Yeah,
Totally fucked.
Yeah.
So not only was he carrying the weight of all of that, but it was also not being pushed by anybody because it's very clear that Joseph's just not ready yet, and Bamford's made a biscuit. And I think when you look at Bamford and the way that he's playing, he's got the personality and he's got the mentality to be able to handle the shirt because there is a weight of expectation that goes with it, and he can do that. And that's sometimes that leads him to cupping his ear and whatever else, and brain being apoplectic with rage at him and whatever. And then he gets criticised when he misses goals because we do remember him making some glaring misses, and if you set yourself up in that way, you're going to get criticised when it doesn't go quite right. But at the same time, you also get to laud it when it does go right. So I'm all right with it either way. I like the shithousery. He winds opposition up. He gets in the faces. He runs around in a way that he occupies a defence in a way that nobody else that we've got, other than maybe Joseph. But Joseph doesn't have the all-round game that Bamford has, and how could he? No. He's a kid. He'd never started a league game before this season. So I think that maybe what we're seeing is Pirro raising his game because Bamford's there and pushing for more minutes.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there. I think I don't think anyone's going to turn around and say Bamford's the answer. It's not a case that we should ever be relying on him ever again. But to have him available to bring on late in games is a useful tool for Parker. Yeah. I don't see him as the answer to everything. I don't expect him to score many goals, if any. But it's good to have him as an option to come on just to change things or to upset the defenders.
Yeah. I'd love it if he scored the winner that sent us up, though.
Me too.
I would, because he fucking owes us that. Because he's missed
would wind people up.
so many. Fucking Premier League. Oh, tell you.
I'll just shout Leicester at him at home. Newcastle at home.
Absolute bastard. But yeah, if he sent us up, I think we'd all be ready to get on pitch and carry him around on the shoulders.
Yeah, man.
Give
him an Andy Hughes special.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never had a chance to get on pitch at Elland Road, so I'm hoping that we do go up at home.
Oh, you've just reminded me of. Do you remember Dave Rowson wounding Barney up?
What were you remember it? Turf?
Yeah. It was literally just a bit of grass in a box. No presentation to it or anything. That was brilliant. I'll have to mention that to Rowson next time I see him.
I saw him at Middlesbrough. Getting a pint.
Rowson. Yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah, he's a good guy. What is Chairman Charlie?
Yeah. What's Roland asking here? Can Johnny scoot over so I can scope his who post?
That's it's a gig in Forest Hills, New York, 31st of July, 1971. That $7.50. Get in.
Can you imagine that now? It's more like 750.
That's for half a lager. That now.
It's at the arenas over here.
Yeah, you don't even get half a lager for that over there.
No,
it's like $24 a pint, isn't it? Something like that. Button-ups will say.
Yeah, it is. So we did score a second one quite soon after they equalised, which were nice, and it did look like we were going to go on to absolutely hammer them from there. But got to say, for all the people that were slagging off Solomon, he had a right game. He was driving everything good with us going forward.
Well, don't forget, he's not our best winger.
Well, of course not.
Allegedly.
That's Brendan Aronson, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get himself.
Don't get him off one, please.
But I thought he had a great game. I thought it were a great
of
retort to all those that have been slagging him off and calling for him to be dropped. And I'll admit, he's looked to me at times in the recent past that he did need a little bit of a rest. But
he's been doing this last few games, been going on the outside. He was up forever cutting inside all the time, whipping it ever. Just last few games have been going like.
But that, Johnny, that's the difference between a proper top level player and Somerville. Yeah. Somerville never changed his move. He tried to do the same thing, even with two guys on him. Whereas you
I
got
mean, he was
someone
very,
like
very good at
Solomon.
it.
Oh, he
Oh,
was. I'm
yeah.
not saying he wasn't absolutely brilliant, but
Yeah.
at the back end of the season, they started like snuffing him out, didn't they? And he couldn't get past. He couldn't get past the defenders. But Solomon seems to, like you say, he's changed it up a little bit, and he's doing different things. And to me, that just sort of points at that he is a higher level of player, at least at this moment in time.
Yeah, I love Jimmy. I mean, it was brilliant. But like I say, he got towards a very one-trick pony, and like I said, team sussed him out all the time. It's like
it made life hard for us.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, well, all we had really, wasn't it? Was just him and like Ruta, wasn't it? That's all we had.
Yeah.
It was just them two, wasn't it?
And if they didn't get any joy, then we didn't get any joy, and that were it.
That's like
Yeah.
And that's the best thing about this team for me, the fact that you're not relying on any one or two people. Everybody's part of this. Everybody mucks in. Goals are coming from everywhere.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, not everywhere. Aronton's not scored for a long time.
Most places.
And do you know what? And you know, we spoke well of Pirro, and I do think he played well. I think he did enough to deserve a goal. The one that hit the bar was so unlucky not to score. And if that goes in, nobody even questions it because he's a striker and he scored a goal. But I think his all-round play was good. But you know, he's gone on a long run now, and he needs a break. I don't mean he needs to be dropped out of the team. I mean, he needs a lucky break, one to going off his arse, or you know, miss it, aim for one corner, keeper dive towards it, and but
anything.
He rolls into other corner or whatever. Just his name on the score sheet. And then I think he'll get another 2 or 3 because that's just the sort of player he is. In a very similar vein to Bamford, is when they get one, invariably it gets followed by 2 or 3 more.
That's why such a shame he got robbed.
Yeah, absolutely. Both of them with offside goals.
Actually,
both of them.
Fucking bastards, honestly. I tell you what, you couldn't write it, could you? You couldn't write it, Johnny.
No.
Fucking Leeds United and the EFL. It's like a love-hate relationship. They love us,
well,
we hate them.
We're their cash cow, aren't we? I mean,
they want to keep us.
They don't want us anywhere out of this league. We're their cash cow. They'll do the fucking best, will they?
You are right about Solomon, though. I mean, if you look, I mean, it's a great goal, and if you actually put Jimmy on the pitch, that's exactly the thing that he's trying to do. But to have got a goal and an assist, cutting inside for one and then going on overlap for the other, just shows what capability he's got. And I think a lot of people picked him for man of the match, and goal and an assist in a 2-1 win. You can see why. But for me, I think there's one other person on the pitch that was vying with him, and I think that was Bogle, because I thought he was dynamite.
Oh.
Yeah, I said that.
He was fantastic. Was Bogle? He was everywhere again, and he's just.
And he's another one that loves it, isn't it? You know, when he puts in a big tackle and kicks out for a front, like Rodon.
And you see him absolutely smash people sometimes. I love it.
That when he won the corner right in injury time, and he fucking turned towards North East.
Well, that was right in front of us.
I was like, fucking come on.
Yeah, we were in cop, but we were next at North East corner. We were in that bit, and. Yeah, he just looked, and do you know what? He were knackered, and the fullback he were playing against were knackered, and you know they were both trying their hardest, and you could see how much it had sapped him, because obviously it were an hot day, wasn't it? And you know, you're about 88, 89 minutes in, and he'd really worked hard all game, and it'd gone on the overlap so many times. And had a number on the fullback. The fullback had a torrid day against him. And the fullback made a tackle against him, but he didn't have any energy to kick the ball away. So he got his foot to it and it didn't go anywhere. And then Bogle kind of tapped it about 30 centimeters, and then it rolled out off him for a corner or a throw in that little bit. And we just crowded.
I love the fact that he scored. I love that he scores.
Yeah.
Love it.
Good that. I mean, pinpoint cross, but he had to get there.
There was two defenders in front of him, like, so to get between them.
It were a great goal. It were a great goal. He did everything right. And there were a point, actually, where it were like he were playing a free role at times. There were a point where they were at the left-hand side of the box, of our box, and Firpo's their box, sorry, and Firpo's over there as he should be, but Bogle was just sort of in front of him, just like, you know. Now we're like, what is happening here?
Yeah, I was watching the thing on LUTV afterwards, and they say he was saying Stuart Dallas like tapped him on the shoulder before the game and said like, "You're going to score today."
Yeah,
and he was like, but he was buzzing. You know what I mean? So yeah,
I love it. It was really good. Firpo had a kind of mixed game on the other side. After he made that error with the guy for the goal, he did kind of make up for it because they had a cross, didn't they, to the far post, and he covered that and he blocked the guy from getting to it. The guy who scored the goal, actually, Hayden. Yeah. And he did a great job there. So he kind of made up for it a little bit. But he's frustrating because he's really good sometimes, and other times he's like an idiot.
Yeah.
Play him at 10. Play him at 10.
It's
where he plays anyway.
Yeah. I tell you, that's what Danny says there. Like Gruev, he was silently brilliant on Saturday.
Yes.
Again,
he's been brilliant for the last couple.
Yeah. Same against Middlesbrough. It was like just wins the ball, lays it. He was just in the right place at the right time. A lot on Saturday.
Yeah, I think we've talked about Bogle having a good game. We've talked about Firpo being good going forwards. I think is probably the point that we were making. They're both so attacking, but they can't do that without a Gruev or an Ampadu or somebody. No. Gruev's so switched on about when he needs to cover and when he can push forward a little bit. And that's not a sexy side of football. Knowing when to just sit deep and let somebody else do some attacking so important, but it's not. You don't celebrate somebody doing that. I mean, it's weird that we celebrate a keeper being able to catch a ball because that should be fairly straightforward. But we've been burned too many times. Yeah. But it does need recognition. You know, he's not getting assists. He's not getting a lot of goals. That's okay because he's doing the job we need him to do. And I think it's right to call it out. He did play well. And he's the one that gives the platform for the others to go, you know, that's how Bogle gets into box and scores and how Firpo's getting all his assists.
I'm not saying I ain't comparing this anyway, but that's what David Batty used to do. He didn't score goals, you know, just did his job. I mean, just like he wins the ball and lays it. I know, like, he's completely two different players, like, in a little way. Like, nobody's going to be better than Batty anyway, but.
No, he's one of my favourite ever players. But I get the point. He had a great passing range, but quite often what he were doing is he were winning the ball, he were destroying somebody, and then he were laying it off to Strachan, McAllister or Speed.
We've got Bryn Johnson here. We've got Bryn Johnson here. Sunshine and light as ever. A solid player for Rangers when 49ers buy them. Fucking hell, Bryn. Are you one of these who's not enjoying the moment either?
He fucking loves it, doesn't he?
Here's the other side to it, though. Look what Herbert says. Gruev is exactly the same as Perlo.
There we go. That's Leeds United summed up.
Two comments right after each of it.
Okay, man. This club. I'm just looking at SofaScore now, actually, and just noticed they gave Darlow a 6.6. I guess his Superman punch probably knocked him down slightly.
Like I said, I hadn't seen it. It wasn't in the extended highlights, and because I was sat in the cop and it happened in front of the south stand, we were all trying to work out what had happened because the only thing wrong with it is where he did it, isn't it? So you know, you don't assume a keeper's come 2 yards out of his area and then punched it. So you try to work out, well, was there some contact on a player that we didn't see, or has somebody handballed it? What on earth is he given? We just had no idea. And I still haven't seen it because I've watched back the extended highlights, and the EFL extended highlights didn't even have it in it. And I couldn't find it on Twitter or anything. It's like it never happened.
Wow. Maybe it didn't.
Figment of our imagination.
They were saying on Square Ball, that could have been a red card, that as well, couldn't it?
It could have been, but it would have had to have been preventing a clear opportunity.
Yeah, I think that's what he said. Yeah.
And I think that's what saved him. Because I thought, oh shit, he's going to get sent off. Because it's that ref as well, isn't it, that didn't send their player off last time. So I thought he will send ours off. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what normally happens to us.
I thought he was all right, actually, the referee on Saturday. I thought.
I'll be fair.
He didn't do not bad. He was decent for both sides.
I didn't think he was too bad. And not being too bad is a massive improvement on what we've had recently.
It actually is.
Yeah,
And that's the
yeah.
sad truth, isn't it?
Yeah.
But from where I was sat in the wedge, I could see where his momentum was taking him. And I thought he was trying to head the ball because I could see that he wasn't going to stop within his box.
Yeah.
And then he put his fist out and I was like horrified. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, God.
I didn't even know it was him. I didn't know. Well, I couldn't really see him to that point anyway, but I spent seeing the yellow card. I saw the yellow card and I said to Alfie, he said, what the fuck's the yellow card? He said, I just punched it. So was it there? He said, oh, couldn't tell where it was.
Someone's been sent off, Chris. Eh?
That's what I was like.
No, so I'm going off. I thought it would have sub.
Yeah, Alfie was like, Dad, fucking hell, just what's the game, will you?
Oh, I love that. He's getting tired of looking after you, isn't he, that poor kid?
Bless him, to be fair.
He's great. Yeah. No, I were a bit shocked. I didn't expect him to do that. I can't work out if he just thought, screw it, I'm just getting rid of this, or if he misjudged it because he were looking at the players maybe and not where he was. I don't know.
Yeah, so yeah.
I don't know. It was a weird thing to do.
Yeah,
Still better than most of the stuff Melier does, but
it was
a
the
weird
fact
thing to do.
that there was that many players on the edge of the box and he came that far out. That's what like baffles me a little bit.
But you'd think that, you know, if he was that far out, you'd think stick your head on it or chest it down and then boot it long or something like that. You know,
I thought that's what were coming.
But like I say, I can't really comment on it because I haven't seen it. Can't find it anywhere. If anybody can find it, tag me on Twitter.
I'll start filming entire game for you in future.
Cheers, pal.
I can pick highlights out. Strap a fucking camera to my head. It'll have to be on a pole.
Lucky you said camera to your head then.
Your mate Aronson had an effort that he blasted straight at the keeper. That was
Yeah,
fun.
and then
he tried to edit, did he, when it come back?
Yeah, totally unmarked, stood on his own, all-time it world, P-rolled it to keeper, and then I can't remember because obviously you can listen to as much Leeds content as you want when things are going well for us. So I've listened to a couple of pods today, and one of it would either Leeds that or it were Square Ball, and one of them said it were like when you're watching 8-year-olds play football, or when you were 8 and you were in a playground and somebody went for an header, but they closed their eyes and just hoped it didn't hit them.
Hey, there'll be a lot of that happening in that charity game, I reckon.
It just was not up for that at all, and I mean, yeah,
I feel like Willie would have buried that.
Well, that's not what Arrington's there for. But I didn't feel that we got from him what he is there for. I didn't think he put that much work rate in this time either. It's a bit of an odd one because we saw it from Pirro, but I didn't think we really saw it from Aronson.
So SofaScore gave Aronson a 7.1. They gave Pirro a 6.2.
Yeah, but Pirro missed so many chances. I think that's why his score gets marked down. Because he did. Let's be right. He should have had an hat-trick. I think some of it would unlucky, but he should have had an hat-trick.
I feel for him. I really do. But I think they gave Tanaka a 6.6, the bastards. He should have a 10 just for that bit where he just stood still in front of that guy, Johnny.
I mean, again, that was down other end at pitch, but it looked like he was doing the Balotelli, you know, when he took his shirt off and he just stood there and he just paused for a while. And
he just stood directly looking at him.
Stood there.
ball at his feet. He just go on then. What are you going to do?
I loved it. That their player was sort of stood there looking real confused, thinking, "Ref,
he didn't know what happened.
Are we stopped? Are we stopped this a minute?" And then Tiago stood there, stand here all day if you want.
We're winning, Nate. It's your time.
He looked really confused. Real funny.
Oh, here we go, Jay. One for you.
I am jammy, technically. Anyway, we'll see how long I last.
I think we all are. Luke is involved from a managerial aspect because he's more biscuit than Bamford.
That's right.
So we're all involved to a certain extent. I think everybody except Luke is trying to play. Even our backing singer, Bren, who we don't get on very often, he's in training. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm buzzing about it. I'm well looking forward to it.
I am. I'm very nervous about making a complete tit of myself, but that's half the fun, isn't it?
Did that Saturday?
I do it every Saturday, mate. Do it every time I'm on here, so I'm very, very used to it these days. Anyway, I forgot what we were saying before, so I'm going to go back to Darlow making a cracking save. I think it was before his Superman punch when they played a corner to a guy on the edge of the box. Nobody picking him up at all. That could have gone wrong, Gilly.
Yeah. I think it would have been horrendous if they'd have picked up a goal at that point because they'd pretty much not been in the game by then. In fact, we've not had the momentum graph up, have we? Here we go. If you look at it, it is crazy.
That's one of the worst all season.
It is, and if you look at when they've scored, they didn't even have the ball in our area for long enough for it to register as momentum in their favour when they scored the goal. That's how on top we were, and there's 3 bars there that are out of 45 that are in their favour in the first half, the entirety of the first half, which is total dominance. It looks like they started quite well at the start of the second half. I still think that a lot of that is down to Lee, the pitch announcer, who also picks all of the music on game day because he don't play match on together at the start of second half, and it's still flat. And I think he's got the easiest job in the world, and he fucks it up every week. I think he's the only person to rival Aronson for the amount of fuck ups all season. It really pisses me off. I don't know if you can tell.
Play the fucking song, will you?
Yeah, but then there's 20 minutes after that in that second half where it's just total dominance, no let up at all from us, and then it was kind of mixed from then on. But I never felt like we were under any kind of pressure. It didn't feel like we were under the caution anyway. It didn't feel like attacking defend. If anything, It felt like that the opposite way around, that we were exerting so much pressure, and it felt like eventually it was going to come on. However, I did go for 2-1, so I'm quite glad it played out that way.
Unbelievable. Honestly.
I mean, when it went 2-1, I turned to Gail and I went, "This is going to be 5-4."
We all thought it, though. We all thought it. It was one of the most.
There's no way this ends 2-1. In fact, that's actually what I said. There's no way this ends 2-1. I'm not getting 5 points here.
It was one of the most stressful wins I've ever watched, Johnny. I were on edge for the entire time. And when we got into stoppage time, I was worried. I thought, "Oh, please God, don't let this happen."
I had to sit down, just like because everybody eventually stood up in the East, and I just sat in this seat. I thought,
eventually stood up.
Yeah. Like Alfie looked at me and said, "What are you sat down for?" I said, "Oh, just fucking leave me alone."
Can't go.
You were like Snacka last week, weren't you? You were like Snacka last week. I've got no left, Alfie.
Just let me have a minute. You know what I mean?
Just having a senior moment.
Yeah. Come on, I've seen this too many times.
I'm sitting down now before it happens.
Yeah, I don't want to see the bad thing. I just don't want to see it.
That's how traumatized we all are, mate.
Yeah.
That's why you've got to enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
What did you think about the? Oh, go on.
I was just about to say one thing I really didn't enjoy was I thought he played well, and I do rate him. He's one of my favourite players this season. But I don't know how you can be 3 yards out and have a shot on goal and the ball move further away from the goal than it started. And that was Rodon right in front of us. I don't understand it. I can't bend my head around it. It's like he falls apart when he's in front of goal.
Yeah, it's like shit. Is that their goal? Oh God! Oh, where am I? Oh.
Shit! I've got a nosebleed.
Flashbacks to Vietnam, like that meme.
I hate this on square ball. I can't remember that at all.
Oh yeah, it were bad. It did go further away from the goal after he hit it.
I remember it was one in the first half where it sort of got cleared off the line. Was it?
No, that was Pirot's effort, wasn't it?
Was it Pirot? I thought it was Pirot. Oh, fucking no, I don't know.
And it actually ended up bobbling just to the side of the goal.
Yeah.
But that was off somebody else. Rodon's effort moved away from goal.
Honestly, don't remember that at all.
One point of Steve Morrison, though, or it?
No, but Squareball did say that though, didn't they? They mentioned the Steve Morrison effort, but
I can't remember, to be honest.
Yeah, so yeah, but I thought he had a really good game. I thought he played well in general. Again.
Him and
Ampadu just play so well. Yeah, big time.
Well, it's like that triangle, isn't it? What you got the keeper and the two centre backs. It's like just perfect chemistry, isn't it? You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I don't want to see a player injured, but Strike being injured has done us a favour as long as no one else gets injured. You know.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? Because we've lost Rothwell. We've lost Rothwell, so we've got no cover in midfield, and we've lost Strike, so we've got no cover at centre. I mean, all right, we've got Verba coming back, but he's still a long way off match fitness.
He's a non-entity to me.
You got Gilly that is a cheerleader. Actually, did you hear the Nonto story?
Yeah.
Just for anybody that's not heard it, apparently Gilly went and stood in front of Nonto's car and didn't let him leave a car park and went and ragged him out of his car and made him go sign some autographs. Go over here and sign his autographs for these kids.
Stop being a knob. Get out. Come on.
So I think he's been a great addition to the squad. Not for anything that he's given us on the pitch. When he's come on, largely he's been fairly solid. He's a unit, and he's not going to be easily beaten by somebody. But he's not mobile enough. He's not the player that he has been, is he? So,
he's not.
But the impact he's had on the squad, I think, is massive. When you see him warming up, when there's the likes of Chambers and so on that were warming up with him, the level of professionalism he insisted on was really, really obvious, and he'd give him loads of shit. But then they'd walk off the pitch together and he's got his arm around them and he's talking to them. And you can see that there's camaraderie there. But he's just got an expectation of what they're going to train like and the levels that they're going to get to. And that's what you want from those experienced players.
He's a pro that's been there and done it, and he knows his role at Leeds.
Yeah.
And he's doing his bit. He's doing everything that we would expect of him, and he's not going to cause any trouble. He's not going to kick off because he's a pro.
What a job!
He's the kind of guy you need around the club. Yeah, it's ace, isn't it? It's ace.
What a job!
Yeah.
Like, I'll do that. Give me 20 quid a week and I'll go. Fucking hell! What a fucking job that is.
But yeah, I mean, I thought the subs were a little bit late, but I think he probably was reluctant to change anything when we were so dominant, Johnny.
Yeah. Again, I can't remember the subs.
Well, he brought Schmidt on, who I thought did all right.
Oh,
again.
yes.
I've got him in front of me. So we had Schmidt on for Nonto and Bamford on for Aronson on 80 minutes.
Yeah.
We had Byram on for Coleman on 95.
Yeah, those later than normal, weren't they?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but we'd all been chanting for Bamford for about 5 minutes before.
Yeah. Tell you what, though, that got a right cheer, though, didn't it?
Yeah.
When he started running back towards the tunnel, I remember that. Like, they got a right cheer. And everybody thought, well, that's obviously Pirro's coming off. But then, no, I was quite surprised with that, actually, to be fair. But then
I want. And that was the change I wanted. I mean, obviously. That was the change I wanted before the game. But I am worried about Bamford. He's very important to us at the moment because he's got that capability and he's coming on and he's making a difference in games. But if you ask more than 20, 25 minutes of him right now, I think we're breaking.
Yeah, breaking.
I think so. I didn't think he'd play for us again at one point, to be completely honest with you. I didn't think he'd get fit.
No.
So I'm shocked that he has played what he has.
Sorry, White Snake bites his ear and we're still live. But usually he arrives and we're just saying bye. So he's just saying it must be time to finish up.
Not quite yet, mate. Not quite yet. You're all right, Steve.
You get 5-10 minutes of this.
Thanks for tuning in.
5-10 minutes of our nonsense. I actually bought some are the Tim Tams, the chocolate biscuits from over that way.
Now, I've heard it, I've not tried it, but have you drunk a cuppa through them? No. Apparently that's the thing that you need to do. Is it almost like a penguin biscuit?
Yeah. I bought the dark chocolate ones so I'm
apparently the thing that you need to do, and I'm sure he'll be able to tell us in the comments, apparently the thing you need to do is you drink your cuppa through you suck it through the biscuit. And and then you eat the biscuit, and it's the best biscuit ever. Now, I've never tried this, but that's what I've been told I need to if ever I get older one.
I might have to give it a go. Yeah, they're in Morrison's now, so I'm well happy. I've
right,
mate
okay.
over there. So I miss him for fucking ages, and he hasn't sent me a thing. Absolute bastard.
Some
But
mate.
he works for Tesla and supports Newcastle. So do you know what I mean? He's the most terrible person I know at the moment.
Not bad then.
No, he's great to be fair. He's absolutely he's very, very upset with his boss because he wanted to sell his shares and cash out and stuff, and then Elon Musk opened his mouth and they've all crashed, haven't they? So yeah.
We do have an American in our group chat, you know.
That's what happens. We do
have an American in our group chat, you know. We're just getting.
Oh yeah,
Here we go. Here we go. Look, bite off the corners.
Where you get the Tim Tams.
Bite off the corners of opposite ends of a Tim Tam, very much like a penguin biscuit, and drink your cuppa through the biscuit. There you go. That's what you got to try.
Hang on. White Snake says strawberry and cream Tim Tams out now. Getting a bit exotic now. That might be a bit. I don't know if I'm ready for that yet.
I mean, this is a conversation I didn't expect to have.
Well, we always get one of those on this pod.
I'm getting sponsored by Tim Tams.
I hope so.
Not yet, but hopefully. Bryn says in farm foods. I don't shop there, Bryn. I won't know. Steve Brown says they're even better through a vid. Do you mean a vodka and coke? Actually,
I guess he does.
I could give that a go, mate. I could give that a go. Absolutely. Anyway, who do you guys have as your man of the match while we start winding down?
Bogle. Okay. What about you, Gilly?
So,
yeah.
I am stuck between Bogle and Solomon because Solomon scored and assisted, and we only scored 2 goals. So he created one and scored the other of the 2 goals that we scored. Bogle were very, very good, and obviously he scored one himself. I think because Bogle was so good throughout the entire game, I'll go with him. Solomon were good, but then for 10 minutes he might go a bit quiet, whereas Bogle just done, and he was so up for it, and he rinsed his opposite number totally, just constantly. Every time he had ball, he was doing it. So yeah, Bogle, I think. Johnny, we're getting a bit of feedback off you again.
And I'd fucking whack my mic again.
Oh, is that what you're doing? Stop knocking it about.
That's
what you've been doing. We've been sat here thinking, what's wrong with it? And you're just like, yeah.
It's something I've got the cable right there between my legs underneath.
You want to calm down, mate? Jesus Christ.
Hang on. Aronson for redeeming himself. What redemptions he had?
What's he done?
Well, nothing.
I'm not having that one, Sly.
Sorry, mate.
I'm giving my man of the match to Solomon as well, so he's getting the OKB official man of the match. Trying to think of.
Pissed on your chips then, didn't he, Johnny?
He did.
To go through.
I did all that. I said it was all good. It was. Fucked him off.
No, it was really good, mate. It was really good.
Why do you hate Bogle, Jay?
Oh.
No, I think he's great. You know, after a slow start, when he was a bit like, "Oh shit, we're not sure if he's up to it," it's been great.
He's still like the number 2, dear. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, that's it, mate. That's it. He still has the odd moment, but overall, he's.
I think like I say,
when you look at them and us, Johnny, we've effectively swapped Bogle for fucking what's his face, Shaq.
Yeah.
That's an improvement on the squad for me every day of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, the first few games, I think it took him a while to get into like Barker's system. But then once he did, that was it. I think he's been the best right back in the league.
Sly's getting it now. Roland's asking if he's gone for shit take. James B says, what game were you watching? Bryn's come to his defence here. He says Aronson put some decent balls in box second half.
Yeah, but we know what Bryn knows about football.
Yeah.
That meme.
No, to be fair, he's had some horrendous takes where he just hates players. I don't hate Aronson. I just don't rate Aronson. Whereas he hates Pirro. Genuinely.
He does actually. Yeah, he does hate him. Yeah, he's not a fan, is he? He's not a fan.
He's not. He's absolutely not.
Anyway,
Ben's got a picture on his dartboard, hasn't
he? Yeah, he will have. I'd like to give a special mention to Wilder again for his scrap at the end and completely losing his head and
Yeah.
completely derailing his own side, arguing with his own fans, and worrying too much about them Muppets from Leeds. He's made their week.
They've just completely shit the bed, haven't they? I can't believe it.
Oh, 100%. No one could have read this. No, what you know, if you were watching like Ted Lasso or whatever that Sky football show had been, I can't remember what it was called. If the main opposition lost 3 on the bounce and you were winning, you'd go, well, that's not going to happen. Not when they're going for league. You could write this. Nobody saw this coming. I mean, the head loss, like I said before, the head loss of our fans. If we'd lost 3 on the bounce at this point of the season, honestly, you'd have people swinging from fucking lampposts.
You would absolutely. You know, our fans are just, we're both ends of the scale, aren't we? We just like to get upset and go on one.
Do you know what I really like? What I really like is I said at the start of the I were very, very vocal. I've been called a bootlicker towards our board recently, which is nice. Nobody's given him more shit than I have. Yeah, he's misread that one somehow. But I was really quite vocal in the summer and through January about lack of investment in the squad. All we did in January was let somebody go. So the numbers in the squad was the issue, and not the quality of the squad. I do want to impress that the quality of the squad was never an issue for me. It was just the numbers, and that was the issue. And there was a guy that used to work for me called Dave, and he's been quite vocal on Twitter, and he was telling me you were wrong. I was wrong throughout, all the way through. No, you're wrong. We're going to win the league at Cantor. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. 3 weeks ago, he did a complete about turn and said, "You've been right all season." And now it looks like now we're back at top at table again. I really want to know how it feels now, because if he'd had just stayed quiet through that period, he'd probably got away with it.
Absolutely. James B says, if Gilly's the board's friend, I'd love to know what their editors say about him. Gilly's been going down to all his local shops and like stealing out Red Bull so he can throw them in the bin. Just runs in, scoops them like supermarket sweep, and off he goes.
You don't even have to take him. Just pour them out.
Just there on floor in shop.
Pour them out. I'm fucking having that.
Right, so if things go well, we could be promoted by Easter Monday.
Within a week. A week.
And I didn't think we'd be saying that a week ago. I really did not.
In fact, it would be now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We will know at this time, a week from now.
It's just we've done it.
Yeah.
Who's going to be swinging around Billy's statue, Bollico?
Yeah, I'll be going. Fucking hell. Mate, I tell you what, I'll be on one. I'll be on a mad one if we go up. I swear to God.
Yeah.
There'll be fucking nothing happens on that Tuesday in Leeds if we go up next Monday.
It'll be dead, won't it? City Centre will be dead.
No work done at all.
The only people there are the people that haven't gone home yet.
Yeah.
and I might be one of them. So,
just people shuffling around the street, not knowing where they are. Just fucking smoke, just drifting around a little bit, like the aftermath of a fucking apocalypse. Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Up in smoke.
I remember about like February time thinking, God, this season's fucking dragging forever, and all of a sudden we're here. It's like, it's fucking happening now. It's like thinking that it's just over a week to go, and thinking, Christ.
I know.
I love this level of pettiness. Have you seen this from Debs? Nick next to me in South Stand has used a black marker pen to colour the Red Bulls in on his home shirt.
Love it. I love it. I've completely forgot what I was going to say now. Throw me as that. But yeah, we know we can't celebrate too early. We know it's not over yet, but it's so nice to have that bit of hope and to feel like it's tangible.
But you've also got to make the most of it, haven't you? If you don't make the most of it, what's the point in going through all the shit?
That's it. If at the end of this season it's all gone tits up and we ain't gone up, you've still had this week where it were all fucking hits.
Yes.
It was great.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it. So
it's like not celebrating when you're winning, just in case they come back into it. It's like, no, you celebrate the good bits, celebrate moments. As Marsh taught us.
It's like not signing good players just in case you bring Big Sam in. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that too.
Learn from your
Right.
mistakes.
I think we'll wrap up, lads. We've waffled a fair bit. It's been a good laugh, I think.
Yeah.
These are the good ones.
Usually,
This is when it's nice.
It is, and we've done the ones that are bad, and it's awful. So it's again, got to appreciate it. But we should be back tomorrow, I believe, unless we.
Yeah, sorry, I've just seen a comment from Clive T. Chris Wilder seems the sort of bloke who befriends old people to steal their antiques.
I like that. Fucking hell.
I'm going to see Sheffield United fan tomorrow, though, at work.
Tell him that.
Yeah, I will, yeah.
I love that. I'm gonna steal that. Yeah, we should be back tomorrow, I think, unless it gets moved to Wednesday because we've done this tonight. We'll see. Keep an eye on Twitter and stuff, and there'll be a tweet out 10 minutes beforehand if we do go live, no doubt. Gilly, do you want to read out the last part for us as per?
Yeah, no problem. It's our usual
wrap it
Andy's
up.
Man Club bit. On the main pods, we've changed it slightly, and there's going to be some real world voiceovers from members of Andy's Man Club, people that have attended. But when we do the B&C, we just give the updates that we've had previous. So if you're going through a storm or have recently been through one and you're a man over 18, perhaps Andy's Man Club Leeds may be able to help you. With venues in Horsforth, Kirkstall, Pudsey, Central Leeds, Beeston, Seacroft and Morley, open 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Monday barring bank holidays. They also run weekly and monthly social events with the aim to get men talking and to smash the stigma around men's mental health. Details of the venues and everything they're doing is at Andy's Man Club Leeds Facebook, so give them a follow and help spread the word.
Cheers, mate. I don't know what this means, but Roland says, gird yourselves, fellas. I'll be in Leeds Saturday.
If you gird your loins, you're getting ready for battle, aren't you?
I've never heard that.
Have you not?
No.
I'm sure that's what that means.
It must do.
Gird your loins is prepare oneself for something difficult or challenging.
This is the educational part of the show, children. Fair enough. I'll gird my loins in anticipation of Roland's. I'll prepare them, Roland.
Don't put a picture of that in the group chat, will you?
I can't promise anything, Johnny. But if you get your ass to the game, Roland, I know it's been moved and it's been a bit of a ball ache for you, but hopefully
I think he managed to move his flights, didn't he? So hopefully he'll be there.
So
is he down for Monday then? Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And last time he came, we ruined him. So hopefully we can do the same again.
That was Render's birthday last year, wasn't it?
It was. And on that note, I'll say good night, everybody. Cheers for joining us, and don't come drinking with us or you'll get fucked up.
No, don't.